Hey everyone, Happy New Year. It's me, the beat of the beat of the beat, the Boston bad boy himself, Jason Rumble. I want to apologize about last night. Little technical difficulties. Want everybody to check out the shirt, the Christmas shirt, the Four Horsemen. And whoever's able to hop on, if you're out there, you're seeing my invite, come on board. If there's anybody out there that has never been on that would like to just talk about the year in review in pro wrestling, their likes, their dislikes, I have a lot of things that I would like to do in the upcoming year with the gorilla position, and one of those things would be to get to know some of the individuals here in the gorilla position. And since we're all wrestling fans, it would be cool to maybe once, twice a month, to pick somebody that's part of the Gorilla Position Network and just shoot the breeze with them. So if anybody's out there right now, I'll give it a few, you know what I mean? Like I said, I apologize last night. We had some technical difficulties, little internet issues. Some things like that happen up here in the good old Down East Maine. So we had some internet issues where we just, I wasn't able to come live. So some of my things from this year that I'd have to say that was let's just say it, probably the biggest release in pro wrestling this year is a guy who's not signed, a guy that many people have predicted would show up here, there, and everywhere. One Wyndham Rotunda, and Mr. Bray Wyatt himself, I would have to say, is probably the surprise. To me, would be the surprise release of any of the pro wrestlers that are currently on the scene right now. And from what I'm understanding right now, the APOC himself will be joining us in just a minute. Adam Jack Pelly, if he's out there, come on on. Yeah. Even if that little squirt Joey, I'm gonna throw an invite right now to one Joseph Kilmartin. I would love to have your millennial knowledge upon us. You're such a fountain of information. What information? I really don't know. But you're an interesting fellow. So I think the surprise match of the year probably would have to be the WrestleMania appearance of Bray Wyatt along with Randy Orton. Everybody was befuddled on, the outcome, the occurring. There's really been no surprise signings that haven't been, talked about or be predicted. Shout out to Mickey Biggs. He's feeling under the weather. Sorry, brother. Sorry to hear that. What's going on, Jeff? See, Jeff is tuning in. Happy New Year, Jeff. Jeff, if you want, put up a comment. What do you feel what was your favorite thing of the pro wrestling year? What was your worst? What was your biggest dislike of the pro wrestling year? I'd love to hear it. I almost feel like I'm on talk radio right now. I'm just waiting for a phone call. Call us in right now at 1-800-434-BBBC. I'd like to pipe in right there. People just laughing. Oh, I would hate to hear that. Mickey Biggs going for the COVID test tomorrow to find out if he is positive. And it wouldn't be a year's end without my buddy, the APOC, Stiffy himself. What's up, brother?
What the hell happened to you last night?
Internet issues, buddy.
Oh, okay. Well, we should
Black
hear that.
ice up here, and somebody took up. Somebody always takes up out a pole, or just something's
Yeah,
been going on. Spectrum sucks, but it was
yeah,
a
yeah,
whole blackout. Like for the, we were lucky we even had cable TV.
yeah.
So,
What's up?
anyways, what's up, buddy? I would just no. There's really no subject other than the year in review. Maybe some of what you feel was. What do you feel was the biggest release in pro wrestling?
The biggest release of pro wrestling has to be Wyatt.
That's I agree with. I
But
agree with.
I,
I said that.
but again, it could also be the biggest swerve in the business as well.
Yep.
Because I mean, honestly, he's been released since what, July, and he
Yep.
hasn't shown up on AEW, and he's not going to. So the only place for him, if he goes back to wrestling, would be back to WWE. That would make the most sense in my book. But the clones like Forbes and everything would be, saying different. So
What do you feel as match wise? What's the most disappointing match, storyline wise, of the year?
there's a lot of them, to be honest with you. I mean, the whole um I really don't know. I mean, because like a lot of the WWE stuff hasn't really been barn burners, and neither has AEW. And you froze. Jay, you there?
Yeah, I'm here now.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. Like, match of the year storyline wise, I thought the Cena Reigns match was pretty good.
Yep.
Um, and that was just Cena basically passing the torch to Reigns. To be honest with you, I don't believe you'll see Cena back. He's got too much involved in his new show that's going to be streaming for DC. So, um, AEW side, I would say, Page and Omega,
Yep.
because Omega dropping the belt. I wouldn't put Page and Bryant as match of any year, because they just shown way too much, and now there's really nothing they can do.
Yep. I think
Um, Go ahead.
I think my biggest disappointment match of the year was the fact that Bray Wyatt and I feel Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton at WrestleMania was my biggest disappointment.
Yeah, that was too, because they burnt them alive, and they had Alexa Bliss keeping it going and building it up, building it up, building it up, and then it ended up being a job match.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I mean, and again, that had to do with Brody Lee passing away, and his head wasn't there, and he had no interest. As far as I've read into it, he was going through a lot of shit at the time, and he did it because he was contractually obligated to do it.
Yep.
So
I felt that the storyline itself started off great,
right,
but once Randy Orton's burns disappeared in 2.5 weeks, I mean, it came into like just I picture Walter yelling "fake,
yeah,
fake,"
yeah. Well, I
and
mean,
the old schoolers would have never been able to say, "How can you have this guy just get burned alive and be on TV a week later?" Even
right,
if he is that burned, he would bleed like you would bleed to death with all that scabbing and scar tissue. if
Right.
he was burned.
Right. So
Like I have to believe that was the biggest disappointment of the year as far as match and how the storyline started off great. And they just blew it with the credibility of, first and foremost, they blew the credibility the day Randy Orton his body became perfectly normal looking 3 weeks later. Maybe even 2 weeks.
well, that's this whole thing with Cody Rhodes, same thing. He went through a flaming table and all of a sudden, oh, he's healed. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Those were sunburns. That was a sunburn
Oh, I know
anyways.
that. I know
I
that.
showed pictures as best as I could that a person exposed him as soon as he went to the ring. He looked like he was already peeling like he was gold member.
Right. Right.
So Mickey Biggs is on board, but it's just a picture of him. Maybe he's just letting me know he is there and he's trying to hook up. I'm Mickey, once you're in and I see you, pop on back, brother. I'm surprised Adam Jack Pelly hasn't.
Well, he reached out to me last night and he's like, "Have you heard from Marlo?" I'm like, "No." It was like 10:30. I'm like, "He's probably." I said something probably happened and we're not going out tonight. So I was shocked when I got that. I was on the phone when that came through. I'm like, "He's going on this early?" Okay.
Yeah, it's New Year's Eve. I figured, come on, just talk for about an hour or so. I know you're here, Mickey Biggs, but I don't see your face, and I just popped you on.
How was Christmas?
Oh, Christmas was great here. How about you?
It was quiet, good. Stayed home.
I hear you. I really didn't do much. I had a lot of basketball and stuff.
Yeah.
So, not on camera, in bed sick. Cannot hear you.
What's going on, brother?
Ah, we hear you now.
What
How
are you
you
sick
doing?
for? What are you sick from?
Gotta go get tested tomorrow for COVID.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Well, you should stay away from people and you won't get it.
actually, somebody in my household got it and brought it home.
Ah.
Oh. I hate people, so I stay away from everybody.
Yeah, me too. Trust me. But how's things going today, guys?
Good, brother. I had technical difficulties last night. This part of Maine here, a good section of it, we were left without internet.
Oh,
Spectrum
okay.
sucks.
Yes, they do.
That'll happen once in a great while.
That's why I got rid of them.
Well, that's what you get for moving to the sticks, you dink.
It was better when it was Time Warner.
Yeah.
And then Time Warner got bought out by Spectrum. They keep on trying to update the shit. When they update the shit, they make it worse.
Yep, exactly.
So Mickey Biggs, let me ask you, biggest disappointment match-wise of 2021? Something you just like, what is it?
I was actually listening to what you guys were saying about the whole thing with Bray Wyatt. That was just the biggest letdown.
Yep.
It was just the biggest letdown. And like you said, what were they thinking to have Randy Orton come back like that quickly with no burns, no band? I mean, come on, that's just not believable.
Well, if you remember the first 2 weeks, he came out and he looked like the Mummy.
Yeah.
And then all of us, like, there's no magical powers in the world that even if he wrestled as a mummy, he would bleed. Things would tear. I mean, just did nobody from the writing crew go to a burn hospital to, like, and then the best part is what's funny, and I know this has nothing to do with this as sorts, but there was a meme up the other day, or not a meme, but Tony Khan put up this thing about the difference between AEW and WWE. And one of the first things he came off with was,
I'll be right back.
Yep. My company doesn't have 150 Hollywood writers in back scripting things.
Right,
it's just me. Well, with the WWE, so to speak, having 150 Hollywood writers, you would think one of these fucking bozos would have did research into if somebody got burned.
Yeah,
what it would do.
I mean, What did he do? Drink the fountain of youth or something? I mean, come on.
Yes, it was very it was interesting to say the least.
They could have taken that and done so much more with it. The fact that he'd come out with the bandages on, then do an angle where he was having plastic surgery done, something.
Yes, agreed.
I mean, the way they did it, it was just it completely destroyed kayfabe.
If you think about it, this angle could have gone on. Like it could have went on to what we're leading up to right now, which is what is not, I want to say not WrestleMania, but uh not Survivor Series,
Royal
not
Rumble,
day one, the other big pay-per-view.
Royal Rumble,
There
SummerSlam.
we go, the Royal Rumble. And like all I can see is his eyes and his nose and his mouth. There he is, bedridden Sam. He looks freshly shaved. How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad, guys. Just I wish I knew. Did you post it that you were going on, Rumble?
No, dude, no. This
Yeah,
is
I'm just sitting down to supper, so give me like 15 minutes and I'll be back.
It's all right, buddy. We'll be on for probably another half hour or so. We're just gonna go about 60 minutes. Right now we're at 17 minutes and counting. So
Yeah, we're just sitting down to New Year's supper. I wish we'd
it's
known.
all right. Hey, no problem, buddy. This was impromptu. Last night we had a section wide, no internet. I couldn't even utilize my phone as a hotspot.
All right.
So
Give me 10, 15 minutes. I'll be back.
Happy New Year to everybody. Will you just hop on back when you want in?
All right, brother.
All right. Enjoy
Okay.
your meal.
All right.
All right, brother.
But yeah, they could have done so much more with that. I mean, look at the lengths that they went through with making Bray Wyatt look all burnt and charred and crisp, and then they do that with Randy. I mean, come on.
Yes. I just think that this is all cumulative of pre-crowds being let back in the ring, because even though it has seemed so long, it doesn't seem, it seems so long ago that the Thunderdome actually existed, so it's just it's really weird to say that in April during WrestleMania we were still doing Thunderdome matches, and that live crowds realistically didn't come back till, what was it, the second week of June, or did they go into July?
SummerSlam.
Okay.
And look, they're probably going back to Thunderdome soon.
No, they're not. I'm going to tell you right now, that's definitely not going to happen. Oh, you're late, young man. You're late. You're grounded.
I got 10 minutes before we eat, and then I'll be eating quick, and I'll be right back on.
It's all right, brother. So before you go, we were just talking about our biggest disappointments of 2021. What would and we've all agreed that it was basically the angle that had Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton in it. Would you agree that that was one of the biggest letdowns in pro wrestling this year?
Yeah, because I feel it was like the reason that we don't see Bray Wyatt anymore anywheres.
Listen, Forbes, quiet down with that crap. That's got nothing to do with
it. Do you think if they would have ran that angle differently, he'd still be here?
The funny thing is Mike walked away, and me and Mickey Biggs were talking that realistically, this angle should have still being played out if it was written the right way. Because think about it this way, fellas. The WWE has legit movie writers, supposedly, legit Hollywood writers that help write this stuff. And you bring this to the fore table and say, let's not just burn Randy Orton, but let's entrench him in gasoline and let him come and wrestle a week later.
Yeah.
That in itself is just out of this world, unheard of.
I remember the story you say with the Savoldi's Rumble.
Okay, yes. This
They say this week will light you on fire and won't bring you back for a year.
exactly. And I think of it this way. I think of it that yes, the WWE would have lost Randy Orton for a certain amount of months, but imagine the stuff you could have written on location. Him going to burn hospitals, faking these fucking skin grafts, showing him rehabilitating to once again walk again. And like the ambiance of Bray Wyatt is always in his mind through all this rehabilitation, and they could have made this thing incredible. Okay, then imagine it. What's coming up right now, which is the Royal Rumble, and nobody would have been expecting Randy Orton to show up. And Bray Wyatt, being the menacing person, could have been in full control of the WWE to a certain extent. It could have been a brand thing. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden it looks like Bray's ready to win it. And Randy Orton would have showed up, lights hit, Randy Orton in the ring fully healed. Not being a part, but making his reappearance and reemergence. And they could have really written something truly in depth and truly story-wise. I'd love to have Capelli here right now because he'd be like, oh, but wrestling fans wouldn't be able to, to stay in tuned for 6 months. It just doesn't seem right. Nowadays, if you get burned, they put you in hot water with the fucking breathing tube over your face like Boba Fett. And then you just become one again, So I would really love to have that contradictory of Vinny Capelli being on here to hear me out.
You think with all the Hollywood writing WWE has, they would have came up with something like that.
I think it could have ran, but then
They
again,
they could have made it a full action feature or a horror feature, something.
Oh, buddy, they could have done a lot. Like they talk about not being able to write story. Just imagine following Randy's weekly rehabilitation updates.
All right, give me 10 minutes, guys. 10, 15 minutes.
All right, brother. We'll see you soon.
And then even after that, they could have turned around after Randy Orton came back. They could have taken it a step further and done a Firefly Funhouse match with Randy Orton to bring all this back.
Yep, he could have played mind games with the Eater of Worlds because he sunk to his depths.
Yep.
All right, can we get
what do you
off
think?
The boring part of Bray Wyatt not being in wrestling right now?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm saying what if. That's all. I'm just saying, people complained about story writing and this, that, and the other thing with WWE. I just simply came up with something that could have been really good, that believable. He got fucking burned.
Kind of like what they're doing with Edge right now, with the whole bringing him back to the Brood days and the bloodbath. And
I like it.
I like that too. Yeah,
so do I.
He's got the perfect guy to feud with right now is in Miz.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
that's just gonna push both of them higher than they are now. So.
Change the subject real quick. Did you guys hear that Betty White passed away today?
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up. Yep.
99 years old. She's like 19 days away from her 100th birthday.
14.
Wow.
14.
Shout out to Betty White, one of my favorite Golden Girl.
Oh,
she was so funny.
My wife and I were just talking about it the other day. How it's funny that she's the oldest one and she's the only surviving one out of all of them.
Yes.
And then Estelle Getty, who was the youngest one, died pretty much before all of them.
Yes.
And it's just and all of a sudden, boom. She says, "Hey," she goes, "Did you hear Betty White died today?" I was like, "No."
And it's funny how Estelle Getty played the mother, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's funny how she was the youngest of them all, and she played the mother.
Yep. Exactly.
What Hollywood could do for looks.
Yeah. So let's talk about Tony Storm.
Oh yeah.
So rumors are that she got fired. What in the hell is that?
I have no idea. This is the best. Maybe it's somebody in a foreign world.
Maybe.
VASK Tech. Laureen Rikalukavad.
Watch it on YouTube. Thank you.
Live long and prosper from the Vulcans.
Ricky
Anyways,
RVD.
so everyone's saying she's got fired. She asked for her release.
Yep, absolutely.
Part of it that she's burnt out, and part of it that she hates Charlotte Flair.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I've read. That she had no interest in putting over Charlotte Flair, and she was supposed to wrestle her at day one. I guess she said that from what I heard and from what was supposedly released by her, what she posted is that why should I have to put somebody over in the ring and out of the ring? So I don't know how true that is. Could be.
Mike, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how to take that as a old school, as an old school person here.
Yeah.
As much as Charlotte Flair would drive me absolutely fucking bonkers, I don't know if I can side with this new school mentality of just being given the keys to the Rolls Royce when you just got your fucking driver's permit.
If you
Told to
saw
do the job, you do the job.
right, so if you saw the conversation I had with one Marcos on Facebook earlier today, it just gives you that point more of a driving to where we are with the new school. So he was bitching and complaining about promoters telling him that to help with the ring and this, that, and the other, and he's not getting booked on shows and blah, blah, blah. And I responded, well, it's called paying your dues. Everybody's done it, including me. And then he came back with a bunch of crap. And I said, I go, this is what the problem is with the new kids coming into the business today. They want to be a star, but they don't want to pay their dues. And unfortunately, me as being from where Jason and I are from, it doesn't fly like that. You know what I mean? I'm just not going to, you could be the most talented person in the world, but if you're not going to willing to break the ring down and put the ring up, and, as a 20-year veteran, I was still doing the ring, you're useless to me. Like, don't even bother coming around. If all you want to do is be a spot monkey and try to be a superstar
Absolutely.
walking through the door and not paying your dues. We weren't trained like that, and it's just these kids nowadays, even some of the chaotic kids that think they're the cat's meow.
That's an insult knowing that Chaotic was like that, because Chaotic, out of anyone, and I'll have to get Buddy Christ on here one day, and or Slug, because both of those guys were the official truck drivers for the Chaotic ring. And part of the Chaotic thing was, if you was a student, you was at North Andover on that Friday or the Thursday night before, and they used to load that ring into the truck. Everyone from that Chaotic show, the couple of times I tried to get in, that's the only reason why I know this, because I kissed a little ass. And I didn't see that it was getting me nowhere, that Jamie Janikowski just plain and flat out fucking hated me, which is all right. Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Even if it's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So I
well. No, I'm just kidding.
So I seen how they roll over there. So to know that they're subsiding from the way that I know it used to be, that's just knowing that Chase would run a ship like that.
Well,
it's kind of lousy.
Well, Chase is, in my opinion, he's not really the best person in the world. He does some stupid shit. He did some stupid shit at two APW shows before, and it kind of rubbed people the wrong way, including myself. And you know me, I don't have a problem saying what needs to be said. So, a lot
Fill us in now. Inquiring minds want to know.
Well, he just, he basically blew kayfabe. There was a lot of chaotic students that were on the card, and I've asked, as the person who runs the locker room, I've always asked them, do not go out in the crowd and watch matches. That's why we have a TV out back. Well, because Chase was there, everyone thought it was okay to do it. And they thought they could shit on me. Well, wrong person to shit on, because I lit everybody up like a Christmas tree. And I said to Chase, I go, you own a company and you own a school and you're letting your kids do this? It's bad business in my book. And I walked away. And I don't give a fuck. What's Chase going to do? Nothing.
Yeah, I don't blame
I'll
you.
slap that kid in the fucking head 6 ways a Sunday. You will know who he is. But it just, you know what I mean? This business has changed so much since you and I've went through training, that it's just, it's
sad.
just, it's sad. It really is. Like, when I had my school was open, I've always, a lot of my students didn't like doing the ring or doing security. And I would be like, not to be a jerk, but too bad. It is what it is right now. There's no room to book you guys. You guys want to take part of it? Take part of it. Break the ring down, put the ring up, do security, and eventually you'll get your shot. But right now there's no room. And I had it out with a few students and told a few students to go home. If you don't want to pay your dues and respect the business, go home and don't come back until you're ready.
Can I
Did
tell you?
Did
I
I
don't
lose
blame
money?
you.
Did I lose money? Absolutely. But it's, at some point you got to take pride in what your craft is. And I basically, laid it down the law. This is what it's going to be. If you don't want to be part of the business and you don't want to pay your dues, there's a door. Don't let it hit where God split you.
Absolutely.
I don't blame you, brother. I don't blame you. It's one of the main reasons why this is my fucking farewell tour, buddy. I caught back in the gym on Monday. I aim to lose 15 pounds.
From the looks of you, I aim to lose more than that, Tubby.
That's just the way I'm sitting. You retain, buddy. You retain.
Retain my ass.
So you're gonna
Steroids
make a
don't
run
make
for
you
the.
retain.
You're gonna make another run for the junior heavyweight title?
No, man. I just want to. I want to
Junior
just.
heavy- Mickey Biggs, you should be slapped in the head for even saying that.
I'm fluctuating between 2.5 and 210. If I can get down to 185, I'll be happy.
Did you get a haircut?
No,
I got 30 pounds on you right now.
legit between 205 and 210 right now. I fluctuate.
Well, you better be ready to go, because I would like to get in the ring with you one more time before May.
Well, I hope so. I'm ready to. I'll be ready. Give me 10 to 12 weeks by January, February, middle of March. I'll be able to go.
If I have to drive up there to do it, I will.
Yeah,
Because May is when I'm hanging it up.
I'm done at the end of the summer. And if I decide to do something for Tony for the last time in November, I would enter the Rumble and lose. And then just leave it at that.
Yep.
Go off into the sunset, enjoy being a coach, being a father. But when I had said that to my daughter the other day, she was like, who's going to train me to wrestle? I said, I'm still going to keep the ring.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, I just want to go out on my terms.
Yeah,
Don't
me
blame you
too.
there.
So, yeah, I'm thinking of talking to Mario Mancini and seeing if Mario will give me see if he can give me one match down in Connecticut for Paradise. That would be beautiful. I'd love to come on down. He might have me wrestle you, Mickey Biggs. Since he can't wrestle.
Or he'll have me be your manager, one or the other. the brotherhood.
So,
So
what do we see going on in the new year as far as wrestling goes? Can we here, let's just keep it right at this.
I would like.
What did you think of Raw this week? Did anybody catch it? Match wise, I thought the matches were good, and once again, the talking sucks. This is why Liv Morgan is the shits because she
I agree.
cannot keep anybody fucking interested.
No, I agree with that. Do I think? Let's see. So, do I think that the Paul Heyman thing is one big fucking swerve, and he's gonna end up siding back up with Roman Reigns? Yes.
Yep, I agree.
Do I think something big is gonna happen at day one and unexpected? Yeah, because they've been plugging this day one pay-per-view for months now.
Yep.
So I got a feeling that something big's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna show up unexpected.
Bray Wyatt.
Could it-
Bray Wyatt.
I don't know. Could it be Bray Wyatt or could it be Brian Cage? Because from what I understand, he's done with AEW.
Interesting. Now, if Brian Cage shows up to AEW, what would they do? What would the purpose be? Who would it be for?
I'll be right back.
Yep. Mickey Biggs, what do you think they do with Brian Cage? How do they make that surprising? Or is Brian Cage a better person to show up to, so to speak, say, entering the Royal Rumble as a, so to speak, surprise entrant and seeing what type of rise they could get out of the fans on not knowing what's going on?
I mean, that could work. I don't know. Maybe at some point have him do something with either Sami Zayn or what's his name there?
Kevin
Demon.
Owens?
The Demon, Kevin Owens.
Yep.
Have him work something with them, program with them. Just give them a new, fresh perspective of somebody to work with instead of the same old stale stories that they got going with them.
Mike, what do they do with Brian Cage? How do they how does it influence anything?
I think he gets involved in a Lesnar match, and he goes face to face with Roman.
Okay.
And
you just give him the big shot right off the bat.
He's right up Vince's alley. Absolutely. It's in the right setting. That guy could be a major star. And obviously, AEW had no fucking clue what to do with him whatsoever. He hasn't been on TV in months.
So, did you watch any of AEW Wednesday night?
I did.
Okay.
That women's match was the abortion of women's wrestling. Thunder Rosa is a lot better than that, and she was the absolute drizzling shit.
Look who she's in there with.
Doesn't matter. As a veteran, she should have carried that girl, and she couldn't even do that.
I thought the beginning of the match went well.
Yeah, that was about the only part, and then all of a sudden, it looked like somebody took a big giant crap in the ring, and that's what you got. That girl, she's married to Cedric Alexander. He ain't been working with her at all because she's horrible.
Big Swole is married to Cedric Alexander, not her.
All right.
Nope. She actually is. The way she got discovered is she went to Jacksonville. She went to college in Jacksonville, and she's friends with Shaquille. She's family friends with Shaquille O'Neal, and that's how she got her break.
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, she needs to go back to doing whatever she was doing.
Not only that, but do you know that the WWE was going to sign her? No, hear me out. The WWE was going to take her under developmental because she was one of them Johnny Ace things, bro, where she's a great college athlete, like a fucking Bianca Belair, and try to develop her, okay? Well, evidently, AEW or other people were already up her ass saying, we'll put you right on TV. No need for you to stay in a gym for a year.
She's horrible.
Okay.
Horrible.
Well, they gave her. That's why they got her. Is because she was offered right away to be on television.
So if they put her over Ruby Soho, then my whole opinion of AEW is right on the money. They are super indie fed bullshit.
How I don't know how you didn't comment. I forgot to put the thing up. So it was all part of what I had said earlier about the Hollywood writers, this, that, and the other. When it was when Tony Khan compared what he does.
He's
Okay,
a clown. He's the biggest clown in the business. It baffles my mind that he even speaks because he's horrible. But go on.
so he said basically his perspective on wrestling is different than the WWE because he's a fan and he wants to give the fans' perspective of pro wrestling. So therefore, Mike, you got it right. He is a super indie fed to a certain degree with a lot of money, but yet on television with a huge time deal. Yes, he wants to give you matches that you, the wrestling fan, wants to see. That you, the wrestling fan, wants to see go more than 15 minutes and
well, all right. So
whatnot. So he says he's not a story oriented. He wants to give you matches.
All right. Can I touch on that? So, as being a wrestling fan in general and not a WWE shill like the Bo's a little clown likes to call us, if they did storylines, I would be interested. I'm not interested in just one-off matches that take 60 minutes of TV time and then there's nothing else to show.
Yep. See, I think they do a little of both, and Tony's just not seeing it.
Right. I'm sick and tired of seeing the Bucks on TV. I'm sick and tired of hearing people on Facebook going, "Oh, Undisputed Era is in AEW." Yes, the group is, but they're not being called Undisputed Era, you jackasses. It's owned by WWE. That's why Kyle O'Reilly posted Red Dragon's back.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just, again, I mean, if they did storylines and tried to make it interesting for me to sit there and watch it, then I would. I don't even watch all of Raw because I work.
Yeah.
I'm in bed by 9:30 because I can get up at 4:30 in the morning every morning. So it's like tomorrow I'm off until Monday. I'll be watching day one tomorrow. That's what I'm going to be watching. I'm going to watch the outdoor hockey game and then day one.
There you go.
There you go.
Time's ticking away. Do you think that AEW will eventually sign Jeff Hardy and reunite the Hardy Boys?
Yes. You got two monkeys behind you too, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, I do believe, and this is where I see this going, Ricky Biggs, and I believe that. Really?
What?
I believe that Matt Hardy is going to end up doing Broken Hardy gimmick again. And Jeff Hardy will be Brother Nero.
I can, yes, because he keeps on doing the delete. Yes.
I'd like to see a program between them and the Red Dragons, though.
I don't think they. To me, I don't think they can keep up with that type of style anymore.
No.
You know, I think I'd like to. I mean, myself, I want to see O'Reilly and Fish versus the Bucks.
Well, you're obviously going to see. I mean, if anybody with a half a brain cannot see that Adam Cole's going to end up with O'Reilly and Fish, then why bother watching wrestling? Because you know it's going to happen.
Absolutely.
Yes, I totally agree. Totally agree with that. So we all agree that basically, hands down, right here, Bray Wyatt wins the award for biggest letdown angle and for the surprise release of the year, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
Keith Lee didn't surprise me. I knew it was coming. Carrying across, they buried him. Once he got exposed by Cole and by Gargano, we knew that was happening. Like I knew the writing was on the wall. When he jobbed out to Jeff Hardy in 90 seconds, he was done. Done. Yeah, I mean that nobody else really surprised me. I mean, Braun Strowman, that was a money thing. He was making 1.2 million a year. They had to cut money. Why I have no idea, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, definitely, it was definitely Strowman was. I mean, Bray Wyatt was the biggest surprise for me.
So now that I just thought of this up, last night we did not see Bray Wyatt show up at AEW.
Obviously.
Wednesday night.
Yeah.
We also did not see the Narrative show up at AEW.
Yep.
Could the Narrative show up at day one?
I said that a couple weeks ago.
See, now I wish Forbes was on because he'd be out of his mind right now. I wouldn't put it past Vince to do that and have them just.
Who is the Narrative?
Just be completely like more about of course AEW sucks, you clown.
And he's reading Adam Belly's book. That is hilarious.
Why does AEW suck there, clown boy?
Indie fed, motherfucker. Where is Pelly? He's not even
I'm
here.
right. I'm right.
He's eating Chinese food right now. He'll be back on.
When I'm right, I'm right, and you know I'm right.
All right, so I'm gonna have to do this again. Just forget. Don't tell him I did this.
Okay.
I'm sure he's watching you, tard.
He's already watching.
Probably.
So back.
I wouldn't put it past Vince to do that, just to stick it up everybody's ass.
Absolutely.
But who knows?
So, Forbes, what was the biggest disappointment for you in 2021 as far as a match angle goes?
We don't have all night.
As a match?
Yeah. And an angle in whole and how it progressed or degressed, actually.
I can't really stick out a single match that really bummed me out. I mean, obviously, you know what I was bumming out at the beginning of the year was the whole Fiend thing, you know?
Yep.
Randy Orton versus the Fiend, without a shadow of a doubt.
That's what we said was horrible.
And APOC, you know what I mean? I know you're not going to want to team up here, but I'm on page with everything you've been saying lately. As far as AEW goes, I am just taking a time out. I don't know what Tony Khan is like.
He's a clown.
He's got no direction. I mean, I'll say it here, and I said it on a post. He's starting with Eddie Kingston, okay? Whether you like him or dislike him, was he not over?
Of course he was. They don't know what to do with him either.
Okay, so after that deal with Punk, he was even more over, and it's like you had something to do there, okay? And it was like get him some wins, and then he's getting rolled up by 2.0 now. I mean,
yeah.
And now you're involving Jericho because I think we can all agree that LAX, Proud and Powerful, they should be with Eddie anyway. I'm sick of the Inner Circle. They need to disband. They're all being held back. So you saw Jericho's run in, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, are they gonna force Eddie heel on that, or is Jericho gonna be the heel? Because if Jericho don't put him over, fuck them. Eddie needs to go over here. Hold on a second. Hold on. I got something extra in my notes. Hold on.
Oh ho ho ho!
Yeah, You just popped them. Well,
Hey,
the whole
I support my brothers in Gorilla. How about you guys?
I'm waiting. Mickey Biggs is reading it for me.
So that's what I mean about Eddie and Mike. By all means, that Cargill shit. And I want to be careful here. You know what I meant by narrative, right?
yeah.
Because you saw what she wrote online about a month ago, right?
No, what?
Mike, can you articulate this for me? I don't want to say.
No,
it.
you can do it. You can do it.
Okay. Cargill went online and was like pretty much insinuating that her lack of push or whatever had to do with being racially charged. Okay. We all know that there's maybe some potential there, but she is still green around the gills. And whether you like Thunder Rosa or not or whatever, she does not deserve to be in this spot. If they did that to cater to that narrative, I think we are not racist people here, guys.
No.
If you're good, you're good. If you suck, you suck. It doesn't matter what color you are, what your orientation is. This is what I feel that they're doing. And I don't even like Ruby Soho going over Statlander because why? Because she's from WWE. Statlander is an original AEW.
There you go.
It should be Statlander maybe versus Rosa or maybe someone else earlier on that side of the bracket.
Yeah.
I don't understand the booking here.
All right, so let me explain it to you real quick because this is my biggest pet peeve about, and I'm not saying you're an AEW mark, but most of the AEW marks. If you take out all the WWE people that they brought in, what are they right now? They're not even coming close to NXT. Okay, so Tony Khan is kissing the asses of Daniel Bryan, Miro, Ruby Soho. He'll be kissing Adam Cole's ass. He'll be kissing Bobby Fish's ass. He'll be kissing Kyle O'Reilly's ass because they brought them over from WWE. My biggest pet peeve is if they left WWE alone and stopped putting WWE in their mouths and worried about their own product, they would be fine. Go ahead, Jay.
Perfect case in point. Brandy Rhodes comes out last night, and she has to say Paul Heyman.
Exactly. That's where I was going.
Did not like that.
Although
wasn't needed. Wasn't needed.
What are you gonna say, Pelly?
I say besides the mention of the Paul Heyman guy, that was a decent promo.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
It was. I'm not shitting on the promo.
The Heyman thing negated it for me.
Yes.
And they're trying. She was trying to give him a rub, more or less, and that's but it backfired.
I like how he said Cornette.
Right.
I like Dan Lambert. I think he's a good figure.
Yep.
Because he is like more just because if you heard him,
when I see you, I'm taking that horn and shoving it up your ass.
I tried to throw them out of the room.
Okay.
When if you heard Lambert, he says, "Oh, I was kind of hoping for more like Jim Cornette," because that's exactly the character he's portraying.
Yes.
And that's why I said drizzle and shits on that match. That match was just unwatchable. Like, it was very hard for me to sit through there and watch it. You know what I mean? I wanted to stay up to watch the three-way match between, Best Friends and Red Dragon, but I just couldn't.
It was good. I watched that one. It was a good match.
Yeah,
my beef is what everybody's beef. I'm just sick and tired of the 12-man tags.
The first match was there a tag at 70,000 man tag. Then you went to an 80,000 man tag. Yeah. It's like
but here's the $1 million question, and I'm going to give you the $1 billion answer. Why do they have all these tag matches? Because they oversaturated with talent.
Yep.
They don't have enough room for everybody. So, let's do a 6-man here and do a tag match here and do another 6-man here.
So, guys, where do we end up next week when they do the show for TBS, right? Is Daniel Bryan and Hangman another hour match?
Yes.
God help not. I hope not.
Yes, and they're going to extend the time.
Does
They're
that
gonna
not,
go. It's gonna go to 3 hours next week.
I don't want to see it. Does this not devalue an Iron Man match if you're going to do it all the time? Plus, it's going
Wow.
to suck up so much time on a
Yeah.
2-hour show. What else good can happen?
They are going. I'm guaranteeing this. They're gonna go at it with the last. It will be the last half hour, and they're gonna get extended 30 minutes on that show first night. It's gonna
And,
go.
and Bryant needs to put over Paige. If he
I
doesn't
agree.
put over Paige, then Paige is a paper champion, and that's all there is to it.
And it's more kissing of the ass of WWE guys.
Absolutely.
I don't want to see another Iron Man match. I mean, I love them both. This is no knock on their talent, obviously, but it's like, okay, we just seen this and it was good. You know what I mean? Just have a regular match.
I think it goes to a time limit, and the cards are going to be drawn, and Daniel Bryan wins with the card decision.
Biggest
Who-
mistake they ever make is take.
Who are the judges, though? That's the question.
We don't know who the judges are yet, buddy.
The biggest mistake they'll ever make, and if that happens, they're done. Is putting that title on Bryant right now. They're done.
I agree.
Does that putting the title on Brian put any legitimacy back towards WWE than mentioning
Yep.
WWE more?
Yep, absolutely. If Daniel Bryan wins that title, then that proves my point right then and there that he signed a WWE talent and put their belt on him. What he needs to do is Page is an AEW original. He needs to keep that title. Bryant needs to put him over. And if they don't put him over, then they're done.
And to be honest with you, I think Bryan in real life is a generous guy. I don't think that I think that he would. I don't think he's the type of guy that would say, "Oh, I got to go over." You know what I mean?
Okay, so I don't think it's going to have anything to do with what Daniel Bryan says. I have a feeling that Tony Khan. Yeah, I have a feeling that Tony Khan's going to listen to the higher ups, and you can't tell me that TBS isn't hoping for a kid or for a persona like Daniel Bryan to be the champ.
Yeah, well, like I said, if that happens, they're done. Forget it. All done. WWE now owns AEW. That's what it's going to be.
Yep. And if you think about it, Best Friends, they were developmental for the longest time. Trent Beretta was a WWE persona, but
wasn't him and Matt Cardona?
Chuck Taylor was FCW. He just never went anywhere because Vince hated the fact that he didn't want to work out. He was one of them kids that just didn't want to get in shape. So, Pelly, what'd you have for dinner?
It's called Swiss Chalet here in Canada. Have you ever had it before?
I've heard of Swiss Chalet. Yeah, it's like a steakhouse, right?
Rotisserie chicken. It's a chicken.
Oh, cool, buddy. Cool.
It's all right.
So we were talking about it before, and I wanted to ask this, but we got off on another subject.
Yeah.
When we were talking about the whole AEW women's division, so what's everybody's thoughts on AEW just signing Martinez?
There we go.
Well, Martinez is, she's a great talent. She'll fit in perfect with the indie booking style.
Yep.
Is she going to sell tickets? No.
No, I don't think she sells tickets.
She's what?
I think
How
she
old is
makes
now?
I think she makes the division better.
What was that?
How old
Mike?
is Martinez now? She's got to be
She's in her 40s.
Yeah, she's 41.
Okay, 41. All right, yeah. So she fits in perfect with that style, that booking style. I mean, everyone gives me shit about it. And why are you gonna call it a super indie fed? Because it is what it is.
That's it.
Was that who was with the 10-man tag? It was that guy from New England, the jacked up guy, Indian guy that was at ringside?
Yes.
Robo, yeah.
Yeah.
Jay, did you see that spot between McNeely and Bo?
No.
I sent it to you.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, Bo took a bump for McNeely.
Oh, good. Cool.
I don't know where it was, but
it had to have been Pat Doyle's show or Pat Dillon's show that just went on.
Yeah, I was in at the Ironworkers Hall in Boston. Yeah.
Okay.
Prez sent it to me, and I was looking at it. I was like, did Jay do this? Because I couldn't see it. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, it was awesome.
Peter McNeely's one of the dumbest people I've ever fucking encountered in my life.
But Bo made him look like $1 million, though.
Of course he did.
I wouldn't be surprised if Bo really had to take a shot, because I don't think Peter knew how to pull his punch.
No. He's punch drunk. That's what.
Well, you know what the weird part is I find it funny that Bo was at that show, because Bo told me the other day he had COVID.
Yeah, but this was a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
yeah.
All right. It was their Thanksgiving Day show, probably. Did Prez go to the show?
No, it was Christmas. It was a Christmas show. It was the beginning
really?
of December. It was the beginning of December.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's still a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay.
I had to take a test the other day. Somebody in my building's got COVID.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's surrounding me too. My son Gary's got it, his boss.
Oh, wow.
And
I guess I'm not the only one.
You can't get a test anywhere. You have to send away for the home ones, or try to find one in CVS or Walgreens, which
Walgreens up near me has a ton of them.
I was lucky to get one scheduled for tomorrow.
Through CVS, Mick?
No, through my local doctor.
So,
I don't know.
So, Biggs, how's it feel? It's like you have a bad cold, right?
Yeah, my chest is on fire. Every time I take a deep breath in, my lungs are on fire. Like I said, I'm not even 100% certain that that's what it is, but just
neither is the country. Trust me.
The timing of it, is impeccable. Considering, like I said, it came into my household about 2 weeks ago.
Ooh,
2 weeks ago, you would have had it, but you had it way before then.
Right, but I think I'm at the tail end of it.
Oh, well,
yeah. I'm not sure how the incubation of the timing of it goes, because like I had plumbing problems today. Other than that, I feel fine. But that's how it started for me last time.
Oh. Even with the shot,
14 days.
Even with the shot,
the Omicron's 5 days now. That's what they're saying. Yeah, that you're most contagious. You're most contagious 2 days before and 3 days after.
I'll be right back.
I'm vaccinated, and plus, I eat super uber healthy, so I'm sure that's helping a lot of it.
Have you had it before, Mick? Is this the first time?
No, first time.
Okay, so at least if I have it a second time, I guess we'll find out how the vaccine works, because I was down and out with it for 21 days. So if it only lasts for 4, when I had it in August, I was out that long.
Wow.
And feeling it, but my son did take a test though, and he was the one who was exposed to Gary, and he's negative. But again, the incubation period, I'm not sure. Maybe he's positive 2 days from now.
Right.
We're not going to know, because we can't get fucking tests.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow if I'm positive or not, for sure.
It's that bad in Massachusetts, huh?
Everywhere. Yeah. Look at the
Everywhere.
NFL, dude.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl participants are going to be like 2 teams that are undeserving. I guarantee it.
Hockey shut down for 2 weeks because of it.
And hey, listen, the NFL is too greedy.
Yeah.
No, but they're keeping guys out though, Jay. They're keeping individual guys out.
I know they are. I know they are.
So a couple of studs are going to get kept off. Like, we're going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's like Cousins. Not that he's a superstar, but like
no, but the Vikings did beat the Packers this year, so it was an interesting game.
And they're fighting for a playoff spot, and they got that second stringer in there.
Yeah.
And speaking of football, let's not forget John Madden just passed away too.
Yes, John Madden.
What a life. What a life.
Yeah.
Name the MVP trophy after him.
Hopefully, I can't even talk right now. Forbes, you don't have it again. That's hopefully it's just nothing.
Well, that's just the thing. Anytime we get cold symptoms or sniffles or anything like that, how could you not think it is that? How can you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I said, with anybody that gets sick, wherever you are in the world, you get sick, that's the first thing that comes up in your head.
Yep.
What's interesting is when I was getting my vaccine, I got the first vaccine, and then I got a cold, like just a regular cold in between. And I
Yeah.
was like, "You got to be kidding me!" And when I went to get the second dose, I didn't tell them, but then I kind of told them after I got the second dose. They were like, "We wouldn't have given you this shot." But it just turned out that it was just a regular cold. But they explained why. If you tell them, you'd be like, "Look, I'm in between doses. I have cold symptoms." They won't give you the second dose.
Why is that?
Because if it's COVID, then they're hitting you with more COVID with
Ah.
that second shot. It's like
Yep.
ODing you on it.
Okay.
Exactly.
So I took a risk, but I was like, I want this shit over with. But this is the world we live in, guys. It's a fucking twilight zone, and it's getting goddamn depressing to me. It's been depressing for everybody.
Yeah.
That's why I stay in my man cave in my hole in the basement, and I go to work and come home, and that's it. I don't go anywhere. And if I go into a store, I wear a mask. I don't, you know what I mean?
If I wasn't at the folks, I'm the same way. I go out, go around the neighborhood where I get my stuff, and I sit home, do my writing in my apartment, and it's about it.
And it sucks, you know. I mean, during the summer, it's one thing. I'm on my bike. I'm by myself. I don't go around a lot of people. I've always been that way, though. I hate people in general. So, you know, you assholes are lucky I talk to you on a weekly basis. Never mind.
Yeah, but Mike, you can still put yourself at risk working a show. I mean, you're going to be around people then. You're not going to like totally hermit.
No, I understand that, but like my day-to-day life is work and home. That's it. I don't go out partying. I don't go to bars. I never drink to begin with. So
could you imagine if we were all like 22, 23, how this would be? This would affect us.
Oh man,
I think that we would all
have affected you guys, but I've been the same way since I was 22, 23 years old. I don't like people.
I'd be out there risking it, no doubt.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's why I feel bad for my kids.
But you know, also, you know, to talk about this new variant, they're saying that it's way milder than the Delta variant or the original COVID, and a few friends that I have that are in the medical field saying that it could peak this week and be gone by the end of the month.
Just like every other virus, Mike, it's like each time it mutates, the weaker it gets.
Yep.
Yeah, I was talking to a doctor here in the building my folks live in, and he said it's probably going to be every other year you're just going to get a shot like the flu.
Yep.
Well, think about it. 100 years ago, was the flu not a pandemic? Guess what?
Yep,
The flu has stayed with us the whole time, and it's still here now. So COVID is just going to be a sister to the flu, and we'll have it for life. Hopefully, it just becomes you get the flu and it sucks.
Yeah.
Has anybody noticed that the CDC here in America has changed their narrative drastically in the past week?
Yes.
So has it President Dum Dum? So I'm telling you, by the end of this month, it's going to be COVID's just like the flu. Don't worry about it.
It's going to be a long 3 years, guys. And I'm not a political guy, but
neither am I. I hate politics, but he's an idiot.
He makes me uncomfortable. He makes me uncomfortable. If you guys like search the web and stuff and like seek out what Trump's doing now, his tonality has changed so drastically. You can tell he's getting ready.
Yep.
But he's going to probably lose a lot of his core supporters too, because he's saying things that his core supporters are not going to like.
Like what?
He's all about the vaccine. Yeah, he's all about the vaccine now. Like he got vaccinated, he got boosted. You know, I mean, if you really want to look at the vaccine part of it, Pfizer's due to make $33 billion just this year alone on just the vaccine. Never mind the pills that are coming out at the beginning of the year.
That's fucking brutal.
Yep.
We should all have the Regeneron method to heal ourselves from it, because that's, well, of course they wouldn't make a lot of money there, not as much as they're doing now.
I'm not discrediting this virus, but I do think that a lot of it's money driven.
It's somewhere in between, because it's definitely real. I just went to
I'm not saying it's not real. I'm just saying that, I mean, I personally probably had it back in 2019 because I was sick for the whole month of December. I was.
Hey guys, my mom wishes you a happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Who's that?
Jason, Mike,
Hi,
James.
Jason.
Hello. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Does she have this?
Darling, listen, I got a bad knee.
Yeah, I'll tell him.
You tell him. So
Okay.
I have to lie down there.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I'll go
Happy
to him.
New Year, honey. Well,
Happy
okay.
New Year.
Happy New
I'm
Year.
done with him.
Okay, all right.
On here.
She really hurt. That's why I'm up here for the last couple of days. She really hurt her knee, so I've been pretty much going back and forth taking care of her. So
Oh, there you go, buddy.
Your
Good for
Pelly's
you.
got some bad wheels, man.
yeah, Charlie's he's on the cane and stuff. So we're all limping around here, and
The MASH unit.
Well, hey,
So
let's.
back to wrestling and none of this
Yes, thank
depressing
you.
real world shit.
yeah, she just told me I should go look after Charlie. So I'm gonna go for now, guys.
All right,
All right.
buddy. You have yourself
Hey.
a Happy New Year.
Happy
Get
New
this
Year, guys.
book, guys. Get this book on Amazon. It's a good read.
All right. Did you read any yet, James?
No, not yet, but I will tonight. Happy New
It's
Year.
a good read. No, not yet, but I will
It's
tonight.
a good
You
read.
moron.
Thanks,
Happy New Year.
buddy.
Happy New Year, buddy.
All right, Happy New Year.
Happy
Happy
New
New Year,
Year,
guys.
Belly.
Be in
Have a good
touch.
one, fella.
Be in touch, Rumble.
All right, buddy.
Take care.
Take care.
So Vince is definitely the train's not rolling for day one tomorrow, guys. Did we talk about it yet?
What do you
it is.
mean?
The pay-per-view tomorrow.
Oh, all right. Yeah. What have you heard?
They're going so far. Everybody's healthy. Everybody will be there. Even if they aren't, they're going to be there, and then they'll take precautions after. I presume. So the card is as it is.
Oh, I thought you said it wasn't going. I was about to freaking
Ooh.
slap you.
And where is the pay-per-view this one?
I'm not sure. It hasn't been moved to where it's definitely not at, like, say, the Performance Center. So
Oh.
I don't know what town it's in. It's still on. That's a good thing.
I think Atlanta. Atlanta.
In WCW country.
Yep, WCW country. What's
I'm,
your predictions tomorrow? What do you think? Do we have anybody that surprises shows up? What do you think?
I'm still with Mike with KO winning. I stand by that. I can't see Brock winning the title. I can't, unless Roman is going to take time off due to the circumstances.
It kills the best storyline they have in the WWE.
It's at the State Farm Arena, guys.
Yep, that's Atlanta.
What say you between Brock and Roman?
I think Roman goes over, but Mike came up with a valid point that when Brian Cage is no longer under contract with AEW, could Brian Cage show up at day one to confront to confront Roman Reigns?
I don't know about the title picture, but like Brian Cage is perfect for WWE.
Yep.
Perfect.
I think they would hold it off till Royal Rumble and make him a surprise entrant.
Get that too, but again, like I said, they've been pumping this day one pay-per-view for what, months now?
Yep.
Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
Something is definitely going to happen. And I kind of like your idea, Jay, about the narrative showing up and just disrupting the whole freaking pay-per-view.
Yep.
Modern day
spot.
right to censor.
Yep.
That's a good move. That's a real good move.
I said a couple weeks ago that they were going to come into the WWE.
Yeah.
They are so much more valuable as a whole than
Yeah.
the individual as the means. You know what I mean? Like as a stable.
Because if you notice, not one of them has signed with anybody. Have not signed with Impact or AEW or New Japan Pro Wrestling. None of them.
Absolutely.
EC3 looks unbelievable. He is shredded.
Well, hopefully if it happens, hopefully this run with WWE works for him, because the previous two sucked.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He was a way better NXT performer than he was on the main roster.
Are you talking the Derek Bateman era?
No, I didn't even remember him being
Yeah.
Derek Bateman, to tell you the truth.
Him and Daniel Bryan had some good stuff. Hey, I'll tell you what, man. A lot of you guys might not remember this, but before Lashley came back to WWE, him and Cage had a nice feud and Impact before he
Yeah,
left.
I watched it. Yeah.
Lash put him over. So there's some history there. They work well together.
Yep.
They really work well together.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting.
I still say Lashley goes over for the belt.
You need a slap in the head for that, Mickey Biggs.
I think me too. I think Lashley goes over.
You guys are pushing the triple threat deal, and like I just don't see a triple threat. It's just like a waste of
Well,
a
you
body.
can't. Well, yeah. Well, Rollins has got COVID, so he won't be in it.
What?
What do
Yeah.
you mean?
Seth Rollins has got COVID.
Oh, great.
Yeah, but he might be cleared by tomorrow, right?
He just announced it on Monday. On Christmas Day.
Yeah, but if you're vaccinated, it's like a 5 day
We'll
days
see.
negative test deal. But you guys are what I'm saying is you guys are talking about a triple threat for Mania between
I don't.
Brock,
No, I'm
Roman,
not.
and
I don't want a
Lashley.
triple threat for Mania.
I want Lashley and Brock, KO versus Seth, and then Roman versus Cage or someone. You know what I mean? Like just more matches for the 100,000 seater in Dallas. You put 3 guys in a match, and you're taking away a marquee match.
Like I said, this, and I'm standing by this. If you do not see the Fiend within the next 30 days, he will be back at the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
He will win the Royal Rumble, and he will face Roman Reigns.
That's it right there.
In Dallas, Texas.
And win.
Absolutely.
Gentlemen.
That's my prediction, and you heard it here now.
I stick with that. That's right on.
I said that I sort of said the same thing that when people said, "Well, you got to bring somebody back." I'm sorry. If you can't get Cena and you can't get The Rock, the only other thing that makes sense
is the Fiend.
Is the Fiend.
Plus, the Fiend can come back with that sick song, you know what I mean?
Yep.
That sick entrance song and be like more evolved.
Yep.
And hopefully he gets, not fucked over this time.
Well, I'm cutting this short because my dinner's here, and I'm supposed to be going to Stoneham Zoo to see the lights later. So,
all right, brother.
Happy New Year, you guys, and
see you next year.
Next year.
Yep.
We're doing next
Saturday
Friday.
night. Saturday night. Yep.
All right.
All right, brother.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Later.
You know what's funny is every time Mickey talks, his little ball.
Yeah. Yes. So Forbes, I don't know if you was listening, but I think the perfect storyline that they should have went with all along was if Bray Wyatt had stayed in very good mental health capacity. I think that they could have it could have potentially been the best storyline in all of wrestling if they had did week by week vignettes of Randy Orton going from burn victim back to normal human being. And by the time, say, the Royal Rumble had come around, he could have been a surprise entrant. And the burning could have been that much more of an effective storyline. Because just face it, I said this earlier because it was a thing that Tony Khan had come out with, and it was about having the 200 writers that the WWE has, yada, yada, yada. Well, if you got that many writers with Hollywood experience, how don't they know what a burn victim would actually realistically go through? And it wouldn't be 2 days. Because if you got burnt that bad, think about it, and they wrap you up and mummify you, you really can't move and do any of that shit, correct?
No, did he actually wrestle a match like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, remember he came back and they had his face wrapped and had
See, he appeared, but he didn't do his match like that. He made an appearance like that because if you remember when he walked out at Mania, he was mummified and then he transitioned with the special effects back into the Fiend. Because we all questioned with that. It's like, how is he going to?
But even like Randy Orton wrestling burnt.
Oh no, I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Was very, very far-fetched. And they
Yep.
could have went further in detail and made it like that that happy tear wrenching fucking storyline that watch Randy go through the progressions of rehabilitation and this, that, and the other. I think they could have made something really like old school stretched. You know what I mean?
Have a vignette where they show like the camera in like his room and he's sleeping. All of a sudden he just wakes up, in a cold sweat and
And
a
cold
nightmare.
sweats, nightmares about the Fiend burning him once again. You know what I mean? Like it, I think it could have. I think they could have done so much more with it. That's
Old
just my
school
honest
horror flick.
opinion.
Well,
And
maybe
it could have accumulated at this year's WrestleMania in front of
Absolutely.
100,000. That's all.
I think all the wrongs to the Fiend would be righted with a win at WrestleMania,
Yep.
winning the title back, being the guy to take down Roman.
Yep.
He's the only one that can do it. Like,
Yep,
if it's
absolutely.
not to mention, if you talk about Rock and Cena, those guys are retired. You know what I mean? Like, where do you go from there? The Fiend is an active guy that can carry the company.
Yep.
Top merchandiser. You know this already. So there's nobody else, guys. There's
Yep.
nobody else. Nobody else believable.
Yes, sir.
They haven't built anybody up yet. So Seth and KO over there doing that title, unless there's a talk of unification, which I think would be a great idea, but
From what I understand, I hear it more times that the networks don't
know.
want it that way. The networks want it as if Raw is a wrestling promotion and SmackDown is a wrestling promotion. That's what the networks see. They don't see the WWE as one whole. The networks don't believe that it should be like that.
well, but wouldn't both networks benefit if the talent could just keep interchanging over there?
Oh, you and I agree to that, but these networks don't agree to that. for
Exactly.
some
but you can keep their champions separate, but have everybody else interchange. I'll tell you this: the women's title needs to be unified because there's
Yes.
five like legit.
I think you'll see the women's title unified, and that is something that they wouldn't mind. I think it's that they like having the champion on that and and he's the headline of that station. That it's just
Yeah,
that's
but you can let the women's champion go back and
Oh,
forth, like
hell
the tag
yeah.
team titles.
hell yeah.
You don't need because there's only one women's tag team title.
Yeah.
And there's
Hell
two
yeah.
tag teams.
I totally agree. Totally agree that the women's title should be all one. The men's, I understand. I like the fact of the universal and the world title. I get that now. I've learned to accept it. I like having the U.S. title in an intercontinental. I believe the tag team division titles, I believe the tag team should become one again. And if they want to, rename it. Why not the United States Tag Team Championships like it was in the NWA days?
There you go.
If you want it that bad that you feel you have to have two tag teams highlighted, then do it that way.
When they first introduced the two title format, I didn't like it until I realized that it was the WCW belt, which I love that belt better than
Yep.
the
Theoretically, the world championship is the WCW belt, and the universal title is the WWE's version.
well the WCW belt then looks better still than the WWE one.
Yep.
Because
Well,
the
the
fruit
blue-
colored color just doesn't do it for me, man. They should make it more gold.
They need to bring that big gold belt back.
I agree. I
Yeah.
own that big gold belt.
Yep.
I paid a lot of money for it too.
All right,
Yeah.
fellas.
Real quick, I was just thinking how they could, like, if they wanted to bring the Fiend back, put Roman over on Brock Lesnar tomorrow, and then at the just at the end of the match after he does, the lights go out, and when the lights come back on, you just see the charred remains of Bray Wyatt in the ring, and Roman looking at it all confused, making it look like he's rising out of the ashes at some point.
How about putting Heyman with the Fiend since he doesn't talk? Maybe a turn there.
There you go.
Everybody thinks Paul Heyman's there, and he's not. I think just even if it's left where Roman's standing over Lesnar. Lights go out, lights come back on, but they're just glowing red, and it fades to oh my god! And that's you know what I mean, and bang.
Yeah.
And what they start to do is they start to make SmackDown how they have the blue. Every time Roman comes out, there's a red halo, and let us all guess.
Yep.
Let us all guess. So,
All right, gentlemen.
all right, boys. Been fun. Formsy, the only person I looked forward to, other than you coming on to talk some wrestling year out, was Mr. Vinny Capelli. And
I did a good run in though. I did a good
yes,
run in.
and like I said to you, and I want to say to all the viewers, when you and I a little bit over a year ago envisioned doing all this, you know,
It was exactly a year ago too.
yeah, it's basically a little over a year ago. I think we started in October or November of last year, so I think it's gone over a little over a year now.
Well, I remember we did the Facebook Live for Winter is Coming, and we did the whole Sting bit. Remember?
Yep.
So that was like mid-December. So I don't know when exactly. Like we were talking shit to each other. I think making videos.
But it's been a year, and I
growth.
tell people this. It's been a fun thing. We're going to continue with this. Another thing that I'd really like to do is I'm hoping that members of the Gorilla Position themselves, some of the guys that are in here that post, I'm thinking twice a month, I would like to take one of them individuals on and I'd like to get to know their wrestling perspective. Just myself and them and
you did a good one with Jerry Leone, remember?
Yep,
That was very good.
I think I'm gonna start to do that with some guys. And
That'd be cool.
I made a promise. I think, by the end of January, I should have it figured out on how everything will end up on Spotify and Apple, I believe it's iTunes. So the people and Google Play, so that people will be able to get the podcast version of this event. So
Nice.
once I have that figured out, I should have that figured out by the end of I'm hoping to have that figured out by the end of the weekend. And it could start probably as soon as our next show, next Saturday night. And, that's my New Year's resolution to this, to the followers, is to make it bigger and better. And, then that's the way I see it. So I hope everybody's had a good year. I hope we've all had a good time doing this. And I look forward to doing more in 2022, boys.
Absolutely.
Oh, Happy New Year, fellas. I'm out.
Happy New Year to all the listeners out there. And
all two of them. Happy New Year. We'll grow.
Absolutely.
That's why getting it out there on Spotify and YouTube, just for the wrestling fans to see, I think more or less it'll grow more on a replay than it ever will live. But you never know, because those people will want to wonder where it's coming from. I
watch a ton of. I got a select group of podcasters that I watch. They do a live, but they get a lot of their hits afterwards. You know what I mean?
So the light
fade to black.
Yeah, hold on a second here. I just want to be able to. Oh my God, the lights just. Is he Forbes?
He's coming.
Is he in my living room? Oh no! Oh no! We have this planned for you for the past week, Forbes. My daughter's been wondering when she can put the Playhouse light on. All right, everyone. Mickey Biggs, Happy New Year, brother. Thank you for everything.
Have a good one. We'll talk soon.
All right, brother.
Later.
Happy New Year.
To everybody out there in Facebook land, YouTube and Twitch, thank you very much. And I look forward to bringing you more in 2022. From my family to all of yours, Happy New Year, everyone. Say it, Happy New Year. And continue to support professional wrestling, the greatest sport on earth.